This is the Ha Giang Loop, a notorious motorbike route in northern Vietnam known for its treacherous roads and breathtaking views. In this video, I'm taking you along for my 3-day tour and sharing all my tips and tricks to help you have the best experience possible on the Ha Giang Loop. We just were stopped by the cops. The views keep getting crazier and crazier. We did witness an accident. They have shut down the entire road because of landslides. This is officially the craziest thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm working on my foreign voice.
I am currently on a 5-hour-long sleeper bus journey from Hanoi to Ha Giang because tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. I am attempting the Ha Giang Loop. If you're unfamiliar, the Ha Giang Loop is a very popular motorbike route in northern Vietnam. I have booked a tour that starts tomorrow and it's 2 nights and 3 days. And I'm going to be spending those 3 days on the back of a motorbike. This is going to be a big old adventure and I'm so glad you're here for the fun. If you're new to the channel, my name is Hawkins. I'm a traveling singer-songwriter currently backpacking across Southeast Asia. This is actually my first time on a sleeper bus. These seats are very nice. There aren't that many people on the bus. There is no bathroom though, hence the pit stop. But the whole ride is only about 5 hours, or at least it's supposed to only be 5 hours in total. The driver also requested that we all take our shoes off and he had slippers for us waiting at the front door when we got off the bus at the rest stop. I've made it here to Ha Giang City. The bus ride was pretty easy. All in all, it was 6 hours long with one 10-minute stop for snacks and a 20-minute stop for dinner. Even though it was the sleeper bus, I wouldn't plan on getting too much sleep. Our bus driver seemed to have some sort of side hustle going on. He was picking up some local passengers that he knew and talking quite loudly. He also was picking up some packages. I don't really know what was going on there. None of my business. And the only other thing to note is that the USB ports in the seats didn't work. I don't say any of this to complain, just to let you all know if you're taking a trip like this to plan accordingly. Well, good morning. It is 8 a.m. I just checked in. I paid for my tour. There are a few different ways you can do the Ha Giang Loop. You can, of course, rent a motorbike and drive it yourself. However, it is a very dangerous road, and that is not recommended unless you are very experienced driving through Southeast Asia. So I have hired a driver. It's called an Easy Rider, and I think it's going to be a very, very safe, cool version of this tour. Behind me, everyone is getting suited up. We're getting our helmets, we're getting our drivers. I just met my driver. His name is Sai. He seems great. And I'm pretty much going to be spending every waking moment with him for the next 3 days. So what they've done is they have taken my smaller backpack, not my full bag for the 2 months of travel, but I put what I need for the next couple days in there, and it is now bungee corded to the back of the motorbike. And hopefully it will stay on the motorbike for the next 3 days. So we just were briefly stopped by the cops so that our drivers could take breathalyzer tests. And they all passed, so.
I've been sitting on a highway, watching cars go by.
We've only been driving for about half an hour so far, but we have come to our first stop. This is a little coffee shop rest stop on the side of the road with a pretty incredible view.
Thinking living in the fast lane could have kept me from hitting rewind. Oh, these hands of mine, how they tell the time. All alone, sometimes I slipped away. And as I moved around, I swore I liked the sound, but I just can't get myself to say the name.
We're here at another rest stop. At least so far, it seems like the stops are pretty frequent because it's still pretty early into the trip, but these views are just unmatched. Thank you. I hope you can hear me all right over the sound of the waterfall. It is so beautiful here. I am a little bit regretting not getting my bathing suit from the back of the motorbike. However, it's quite cold, and I think when I get back on the bike, I will be very grateful to be dry. I was so bummed that I didn't manage to film any of the goats that we passed on the bike, and now we've stopped at a rest stop and I see some walking towards me. All right, it's time for lunch. After lunch was our longest stretch on the bike, so I decided to treat myself to a little coconut milk coffee, and it is delicious. I think this might be my favorite rest stop so far. There are hammocks, there's a swing, as always there's an incredible view, and it just feels so nice.
A lot of things can feel like summer. Blue skies, a warm rain. It's so easy to hold on to what you know is gonna change.
The views keep getting crazier and crazier. It's golden hour and we just made it to this incredible viewpoint. It's just so unbelievable to look back and think that we were on that road a few minutes ago. It looks so small and far away.
All these hands of mine, how they tell the time. All alone, sometimes I slipped away.
Throughout the day, I'd say that we've stopped maybe every 20-30 minutes. It's actually been much more frequent stopping than I would have expected, but it's been really nice and it's been a good chance to chat with my group members and get to know everybody. There are 7 of us in the group, which is a really nice size. I believe this was our last stop and now we're headed to the hostel.
And as I moved around, I swore I liked the sound, but I just can't get myself to say the name. When were you out of the blue, and how did you stay? 'Cause I've been strong, but this moving on has guided me astray.
First day, yeah.
Day 1 is officially done, or at least the driving portion anyway. We've arrived here at our homestay for the first of 2 nights on this tour. I thought that I'd be so ready to get off the bike by the end of all this driving, but it was so much fun. I can't wait to do it again tomorrow.
These hands of mine, how they tell the time. All alone, sometimes I slipped away. And as I moved around, I swore I liked the sound, but I just can't get myself to say the name.
We say 1, 2, 3 rộ. 2, 3 rộ.
Are you ready? Yeah! Every night we say 1, 2, 3 rộ. 1, 2, 3 rộ. 2, 3 rộ. 2, 3 rộ. 2, 3 rộ rộ rộ. 2, 3 rộ rộ rộ. 2, 3 1. 2, 3 1. Cheers!
Good morning from Du Gia, North Vietnam. I'm gonna need some Vietnamese people to help me with my pronunciation on that. It is day 2 of the Ha Giang Loop tour and I am so excited to get back on the bike. I really thought that I would be exhausted from a whole day of biking, but It's just so fun. Last night we got into the homestay around 5 o'clock. The sun went down. I got to hang out with the other people on the tour. We went for a walk in the town. We ate an amazing dinner at the homestay. We did some karaoke. It was a very fun night and we all got to bed by 11 p.m. So I got a full night's sleep and now it's time for breakfast and day 2.
They're writing songs for New York and I'm losing relation. They're working through all of her chords. I'm on permanent vacation. But I wonder about the melody she's making.
We're starting our day here at the Zhuzha weekly market. It's full of locals and then other tourists doing the Ha Giang Loop like us. I really love how bright all the clothes are, both the clothes being sold and what the local people are wearing. It's so pretty and it's just so nice to see so much color.
But I spend a little too long just contemplating.
It's definitely a little bit chaotic with the motorbikes honking and driving straight through the center of where people are walking. So you have to stay vigilant and pay attention to where you're going. We've just arrived here at our first rest stop of the day. I think that may have been my favorite stretch of road so far. It was just so beautiful. The sun is shining. We got so lucky with the weather today. That stretch was also really smooth. There weren't a lot of potholes and our drivers are so skilled at avoiding the potholes when there are some. So it just felt really nice. It feels weird to say that riding through the Ha Giang Loop on the back of a motorbike can be so peaceful and relaxing, but that is how it feels, or at least some of the time it feels that way.
What would I do with the news that everything I've done can be put to use? If that's true, then I've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
So there's a truck right in front of us. It's a very small road, so I don't know what happens now.
They're writing songs for New York and they're climbing the ladder, moving towards some high reward cause they wanted it better.
It's delivering cows, live cows.
So I wonder about the heights I haven't reached. Then I spend a little too long in my questioning. What would I do with the news that everything I've done can be put to use? If that's true, then I've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose.
Okay, now I understand why you do not do this if you're an inexperienced driver. This is officially the craziest thing I've ever done in my life. I'm afraid that the GoPro did not capture just how insane that road was. It was a 45-degree angle downhill with these crazy twists and turns on this skinny little road, and just at the side of the road was a huge drop-off and the most beautiful views. It was a lot to take in. My whole body was so tense trying not to fall off the bike, but it was amazing. We are now going to have a relaxing moment on a bamboo raft. just switched bamboo rafts because this one is shallower and so it can go into the cave. Oh jeez. The shoes that I borrowed are quite slippery and I did almost just wipe out and fall off of the bamboo raft, but I didn't.
Ooh, this cut is gonna bruise. Ooh, turn purple, yellow, blue.
We just had lunch with this incredible view out the window and now I'm sitting on the roof of this building with my coconut coffee, which I've become a bit addicted to on this trip. They're so good. I have to say how good the food has been on the Ha Giang Loop tour. It's pretty much been the same meal every time, but each time we have it, it's better. I would have thought I'd be sick of it by now. Typically, there's some kind of brothy soup, rice, chicken, tofu, beef, lots of veggies, fried noodles, and French fries randomly. But it's all so good.
Long before I'm through. Ooh, wanting a life that I didn't choose.
We've just stopped here on the side of the road because we are about to tackle the Ma Pi Leng Pass. Supposedly, it's one of the most beautiful parts of the entire Ha Giang Loop. I'm so excited. So if I have this right over my finger is China.
From here we can see the Chinese border with Vietnamese.
We've just stopped again to get a closer look at the Vietnam-China border, which is in the distance over there. And now it's time for our very last stop of the day, our homestay. That's a wrap on day 2 of the Ha Giang Loop. We are here in Dong Van, which is a very different vibe from last night. Tonight we're in what feels much more like a city in a hotel. Last night we were in a very small town in a homestay. It's really cool to get to have 2 totally different nighttime experiences here. I have about 20 minutes until the sun fully sets, so I'm gonna do some exploring and then we're gonna have hot pot for dinner. This might sound crazy, but there's something about this place that reminds me of Andorra. It's some mixture of the stone architecture and the mural and the mountains. I'm not crazy, I promise.
What would I do with the news
Good morning. It is day 3, our final day of this incredible Ha Giang Loop experience. We're back in the old town here in Dongban this morning to get some bun cha, which is very traditional local noodle soup, for breakfast. Last night we stayed here in Dongban in a hotel/homestay. We got some great hot pot for dinner, and then we witnessed a celebration. I don't know what else to call it. There was a bonfire, there was dancing, there was singing of Vietnamese patriotic songs. Everyone was in a great mood. It was really cool to experience. Apparently it happens here every Saturday or so, our tour guide told us. And now we are getting back on the bikes for our final few hours here on the Ha Giang Loop.
Some celebrity talking about therapy, how it don't come easily, holding back her honesty. I know I wear it on my face, feelings I cannot erase, thoughts that lack a hiding place. Your lips, they know the bitter taste, and now I can see why some people, they choose not to speak.
Well, this is intense. It's so quiet up here. There really is this amazing contrast between the intensity of being on these bikes so fast on these small roads and then these quiet moments in nature. We just had a longer stretch of driving without a break, and we did witness an accident. Luckily, it didn't look like it was too bad. The 2 people got up and they seemed okay. But I wanted to mention it because this is the second one that we've witnessed. The first was the first night, and it was 2 local people that I think swerved to miss a dog. And this one was on a much bigger road on a pretty steep decline. So it's just a good reminder to not drive this yourself as a tourist. I really, really think that you should hire a driver. It's dangerous, and it's really important to prioritize safety, obviously for yourself and also everyone else on the road. So I don't say this to deter you from doing the Ha Giang Loop, but to make sure that you do it carefully. So we're at another rest stop, and there is a game that all of the drivers play at each of these rest stops. And it's kind of like hacky sack, but instead of a little beanbag, it's a birdie, like in badminton.
To suffocate, bare its teeth and scare away, put nothing on display. I know I wore that muscle out, biting tongue and closing mouth, and now the language won't allow, keeping it all in the house. And so you can see why your reticence is so hard for me.
We stopped for a delicious lunch, and now we are here at yet another breathtaking viewpoint. This viewpoint is called Heaven's Gate, and I can definitely understand why. It is beyond gorgeous. I think it might be my favorite one, although it's really, really hard to pick. They're all just breathtaking. A couple of things to note about the rest stops along the Ha Giang Loop. First of all, there are so many of them. You will not be stranded without a place to get coffee or a bathroom. But I will say, most of the bathrooms do not have toilet paper or hand soap, so it's really important to make sure you have some tissues on you as well as some hand sanitizer. Even though you of course have your backpack with you on the back of the motorbike, it is wrapped up and tied down, so it's not super easy or convenient to get things in and out of it throughout the day. I would recommend either having zippered pockets like I do, or a crossbody or bum bag. That would be really helpful to have things like hand sanitizer, tissues, money, your phone, cameras, etc.
The windows of the world look down on what we shouldn't speak about. Ties they say can't be unwound. How the past relates to now. Still the filter's coming off. My words will have to pay the cost. This open door will stay unlocked. Fight all that I.
We're only 34 kilometers from Ha Giang City, and I'm sad because I don't want this to be over.
And then they will see why my breath runs away with me.
We're at another little traffic stop. Not really sure what's happening. So if you're wondering why the big crowd of bikes and cars that we're walking through, the answer is landslides. So I don't know what happens now, or if we make the 5 p.m. bus back to Hanoi. They have shut down the entire road, and there are people waiting on both sides because of landslides. All right, it looks like they're opening it back up, so we gotta run back to our bikes.
All that I can do to keep from overstating everything is hope that you're not following, listening when I sing.
Beep beep, beep beep indeed. We're about 13 miles from the city and the bus leaves in 1 hour. I think we'll be fine. Nothing like a little added drama to finish this insane weekend.
For every liberty I take, I promise you my mind will pay. The piece of my own heart will break with every smile I can't fake.
We're about to cross the road and I'm scared. I made it. We are just 10 minutes away from where the bus is picking us up, and our leader Peter stopped to show us that he filmed everything this weekend and made us a little video. That was so cute. I'm emotional. I can't believe that this trip has come to an end. Sai and I are back on the bike for the last time. Thank you. We successfully made it on the bus. It's the 5 o'clock bus. I believe it gets into Hanoi at midnight, and it's my first proper full-sized sleeper bus because the one on the way to Ha Giang was more of a van. This is full sleeper bus experience. So I'm kind of excited. I said goodbye to my driver, Sai. I'm gonna miss him. He kept me safe all weekend. He was amazing. It was just an incredible, incredible weekend. I have made it here to my next destination in Vietnam, but I did want to wrap up this incredible Ha Giang Loop experience before I end this video. For cost breakdown, my tour, which was the 2-night, 3-day tour, was $185. That also included a night before the tour started in a hostel in Ha Giang City. I also paid $50 $15 US each way for the buses from and to Hanoi. I booked this tour with BB's. There are so many tour companies and they all offer something a little bit different, but the essential experience is the same. I really enjoyed my tour group. My tour leader, Peter, was incredible. My driver, Sai, was incredible. I felt super safe and really lucky that the other 6 people on my tour were just incredible. And if they're watching this, shout out to my fellow tour members. All in all, this was just an incredible experience and truly one of my favorite things that I have done on this entire trip. So I can't recommend it enough, but I will just say one more time, this is dangerous. Please don't drive it yourself. Please do an easy rider and make sure that you go with a well-reviewed, safe company. Like I mentioned, I have a lot more on the way, so make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, the music in this video, like with all my videos, is my own original music. I've linked it in the video description, and you can also listen to it wherever you get music online by searching for me, Claire Hawkins. Thank you so much for coming along for this unreal adventure. Honestly, I want to come back and do it again. This was so much fun. I'll talk to you soon.